Hello, I'm Neil Morgan, your County Administrator. It's time for another budget season. If you didn't get a chance to see the January 15th board meeting, we kicked off the public input process with a public budget forum during the meeting. I want to share with you some of the highlights that I presented to the board and the citizens that were present that night. First, a word about the process. Really begins in the fall with our departments and agencies submitting recommendations. Over the winter, we have a series of budget reviews. We have to reconcile all the needs, requirements, and suggestions of the departments and agencies of county government with the revenue projections that start to come into focus. The process proceeds with myself presenting a recommendation to the Board of Supervisors in March, a public hearing, which is your opportunity to come before the board and indicate what your priorities in our budget ought to be. And typically the budget, the operating budget and the capital budget are adopted in May and take effect in the fiscal year beginning July 1st. We're still early in the process and there's much we don't know about the state of the economy, what our revenue picture will look like, and even what some of our final expenditure recommendations will be. However, I am at a point where I was able to share with the board and the citizens some of the basic aspects of the budget that we believe will be taking shape over the next couple of months. Certainly, one of our first challenges will be to provide sufficient funding to sustain excellence in the board's strategic priorities. Within the subset of the board's strategic priorities, clearly total compensation is important. We are in a tougher labor market than we have been for a long period of time. We want to continue making our investments in your county's outstanding public school system. I think most folks realize that we have one of the top performing school systems in Virginia, and we certainly want to keep it that way. Perhaps this year, more so than many, we're putting a great deal of emphasis on having an affordable and doable capital plan so that we can make some of the infrastructure investments that the county needs to make and perhaps in some cases has been delayed a little bit longer than it should have been. On the revenue side, we do have some assumptions at this point. Certainly in terms of the national economy, it is better than it has been in many years. More importantly, the Hampton Roads economy relative to the national economy is stronger. Also, the General Assembly, we believe, is poised to take some helpful action, particularly as it relates to assistance to our school system. We certainly hope to be able to recommend a budget that maintains stable tax rates. We do have one challenge that we've been talking about for some time, and that is the state of the recycling market. Nationally, the price for a lot of recycled products has crashed. With our regional partners, we are entering into a new contract with a new recycling company. So I don't like to say that there's going to be an increase in the solid waste fee, but the reality is we will have to recommend an increase so that we can continue to deliver the recycling services that your county citizens expect. I want to remind you of some important dates. During February and March, the board will be having work sessions with the budget. March 19th, I'll be actually recommending both an operating and a capital budget to the Board of Supervisors. Your opportunity to participate and comment comes into focus on April 16th when we have the public hearing, and I encourage you to follow that process and speak up if you have ideas, suggestions, or concerns. And hopefully, if all goes well, on May 7th, we'll adopt the operating budget for FY20. As always, your input and feedback is welcome and appreciated as we go through this budget process. Thank you for watching.